Hey sleuths, welcome back to Cold Case Study for another Spooktober minisode. As always, I'm your host Morgan, and today's episode touches on some hard topics: black magic, homelessness, and veterans of the Vietnam War who are left to the wolves when they returned. No matter what you believe of the war itself, whether it was legal or not, ethical or not, those who fought in the war, not the ones who committed war crimes, I think we can agree on that part, did not deserve the hatred that they received when they came home. If you feel the urge, please donate to the Wounded Warrior Project or Wounded Warrior Homes. Help out at your local VA and think about sending care packages to our soldiers overseas, whether you agree with the politics of the wars we're in or not. But moving right along, grab your sleuth book and top off your coffee because today we're diving straight in, and I've only got one question for you. Can you help solve this cold case? Warning: the following audio contains adult content. Listener discretion is advised. LeRoy Carter Jr. was an African-American man who had served in the Vietnam War. As I mentioned in the intro, he was not warmly received when he returned and didn't know how to re-assimilate into civilian life. So he became homeless, living day to day, just like he did in the jungle of Vietnam. He had a rap sheet of petty crimes, stealing and doing things to keep himself alive. But on February 7th, 1981, Carter was just 29 years old and looking for a place to sleep. Carter found that place in Golden Gate Park, where he curled up in his sleeping bag, presumably never to wake again. The next morning, many people walked past Carter's body, thinking it was just another sleeping homeless man, until they realized that he didn't have a head. Cut clean through his neck was exposed, and someone had stuck 2 corn cobs and the wing of a chicken into the cavity left by that. The rest of the chicken was found in a bloody box about 50 yards away, and they believed that the murder weapon was either a very sharp axe or machete, capable of severing the head in one foul swoop. Detective Sandy Gallant of the SFPD was relatively fresh off investigating the Jonestown Massacre. Sorry, I don't know why I laughed at that. It's just like, she investigated Jonestown. Like, can you believe being that detective and then getting assigned this case? But Sandy Gallant had become somewhat of an expert in cults and ritualistic killings thanks to her experiences in Guyana with the Jonestown incident. Gallant suspected that Carter was a victim of a practitioner of Palo Mayombe, a religion that can be traced back to the 1500s AD. The religion made its way to America on slave ships, where enslaved persons tried to keep their traditions alive by practicing their religions as best they could. I want to make it very clear that most modern-day Palo Mayombe practitioners do not kill humans. Chickens maybe, but not humans. And if they do, then they do so against the wishes of their religious community. So if you ever see somebody or know somebody that practices Palo Mayombe, do not be that person who accuses them of, being a murderer or, killing things, because that's just not right. But moving on, to gain insight into Palo Mayombe, Gallant called Deputy Chief Medical Examiner Charles Wheatley from Dade County, Florida, for some advice. Wheatley confirmed Gallant's suspicions, saying that the chicken sacrifice is a common enough practices in the Palo Mayombe religion, but that the corn was sacred to a goddess called Elegula, ruler of gates or the crossroads. With his insight into the religion and its rituals, Whitley predicted that 42 days after Carter was murdered, the practitioner would return the head to the murder site, something that they needed to do to complete the ritual and gain whatever effects that they were going for. Even though Gallant and a team of SFPD investigators staked out the area on March 22nd, 1981, 42 days after the murder, the killer managed to return the head unseen and therefore completed the ritual. The head was found stuffed in some weeds, so they didn't see who put the head there. It's not like they could close down all of the Golden Gate Park though, so I assume it's a big park. I don't know. The discovery of the head failed to generate any new leads on the case, and the case went cold. I'm talking stone cold, as that's literally all the information on this case. LeRoy Carter Jr. was given a proper soldier's burial at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. This case isn't really one I can make a theory about, though. I do agree with Gallant and Whitley that this was most likely a ritual sacrifice, or done as a way to incite suspicion and violence towards the Afro-Caribbean community. Either way, it was done with Palo Mayombe in mind, as they did return the head on the proper day to complete the ritual. If you have theories, I'd love to hear them. But that's all for today, sleuths. Don't forget to follow me at Cold Case Study on Instagram and Facebook, where the case notes will be posted, and to give me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts so that sleuths like you can help us solve these cold cases. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you guys later. Bye! Mwah. Fun fact, Detective Sandy Gallant would later blame Dungeons & Dragons for occult murders and suicides, giving lectures to parents about the dangers of playing D&D. So, do you have a picture of you playing D&D? Post it and tag me to be featured on my story, and don't forget to use the hashtag #ColdCaseMurder.